Hey folks, it's time for another call to arms, as I now have 2 years worth of charity donations, people who donated to Zerfall streams, who are owed Let's Plays, and I'm finally getting around to doing something about it. And just to make sure everyone knows the level of professionalism to expect, I'm actually going to go ahead and record the video explaining how to submit your character while doing laundry, which means there's about an 80% chance you're going to hear my laundry my washing machine running in the background. And that being said, let's jump right into the introduction. This is some super epic menu music you guys are going to get ready to hear as we jump into Nobunaga's Ambition, Awakening. Look at them guys there. Look at how awake they are. It's like their awakening has already happened for them. The erotic awakening of Nobunaga. Remember that Simpsons episode where Marge and Homer went to a Rancho Relaxo? Is that what happened? Is that where that they saw that video? Anyway, I have no idea what that symbol there is, but it sure looks cool and Japanesey. But yeah, if you don't already know what this video is, then there's a decent chance you don't need to watch it, because this I'm getting ready to do a Let's Play series of Nobunaga's Ambition and Awakening, and this video will have no gameplay whatsoever. This is going to be walking through the character creation, because people who watched Zerfall's charity stream had the opportunity to donate to fight multiple sclerosis, and one of the things they could choose in this incentive is to be a character in my Nobunaga's Ambition playthrough. So if you're not one of those people and you want to watch the Let's Play, I hope you will do so, and I hope you'll enjoy, but please don't watch this video and complain that it was boring. If you do, you'll be destroyed by a giant fireball that causes you to trip and fall, and then have a horse grow underneath you. Man, it's like he's trying to rescue Cao Cao, but they're all going to be stopped by Guan Yu or something. 40th anniversary! Nobunaga's he's more than 40 years old, isn't he? I mean, well, I guess the game series. He's dealing with elderly hobbits, or dwarves, or... There's a lot of really receding hairlines here as they get ready to figure out... Presumably this is, they're getting ready to do battle with the Imagawa, I think. I forget which battle is which here, but there's a lot of lines and glowing power and shit going on. Okehazama, is that the... Yeah, Okehazama. That's the one where Nobunaga won a, like, massive, unexpected victory in the midst of a huge rainstorm. So I think that's the battle this is probably supposed to be. Although, if he's got this many forces, it might be later in his career. Oh, that's right. That castle was built, like, overnight. That's a whole different thing. There's a lot of weird lore to Nobunaga's Ambition. Nobunaga's Ambition is based on a historical period with its own lore, so it's not like everything in it that's weird and crazy is the inventions of Koei. Like the whole legend of Hideyoshi building a castle overnight and stuff. This is the most epic menu music ever.
Ambition, Awakening.
Motherfuckers! Alright, so let's get straight to it. We are going to... Well, I guess I'll start here. I have, as traditional, I have not organized my thoughts in any way before setting about this video. I played this game... I kind of ordered it almost when it first came out. I played around with it for like probably 2 or 3 hours tops, just goofing around, not recording anything, and that was a long time ago, because I sat on this game for a long time. And my recollection was that I wasn't having an easy time figuring out what was going on. It seemed pretty confusing. And I've played quite a few of these Nobunaga's Ambition games before. So I'm not that confident that things are going to go very smoothly. Now I've been doing these Let's Plays for years. Usually playing on the default difficulty, not doing anything with the sliders to make the game harder. And I pretty much have always won. Probably the first of these series I ever did was probably the most challenging thing I ever did, which was winning Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11 as Liu Bei when he starts with one city, with Cao Cao already having an empire. But that was the one, I wasn't like trying to go through and do historical events and stuff. This series will have me trying to do historical events. So it could get pretty dicey. But what I think I'm going to do is pick one of the scenarios where they recommend you playing as the Uesugi, but I'm not seeing anywhere they are recommended, actually. Well, they got Nobunaga besieged. Here we go. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. So, in past series, I've played as the Oda. I've played as the Date. I've played as the guys in the Southwest who I can't remember the names of right now. Just find them real quick. The Shimazu. I've played as the Shimazu. And the last series I played as the Takeda. For whatever reason, I've never played a whole scenario through as Ieyasu's force. But I'm... Like, if I wanted this to be easy, I should probably play as the Hojo. But what I figured I would do is play as the Uesugi, because they're one of the more interesting forces I've never played as. Other ideas floating around in my head were to play as the Akechi right after they betray the Oda. You always play as like the Nanbu. They're like hanging around up here. They seem like they would be an easy force to win with if you're playing using a bunch of created officers, because they're just really isolated and you can really get a big power base going before you run into any powerful clans. But recommended Oda clan. Ooh, I wonder what this one. Actually, curious what that's even about. Difficulty question. They strongly recommend you playing as... Oh, the Sanada would be an interesting one. Just the chaos after the Unifier's death. Mazuki Sanada saw an opportunity. Anyway, so I have not quite committed to what force I'm going to play as. But it would be nice to see the rise of the Uesugi. And there are scenarios that they don't even exist yet. And I'm wondering if it is possible to play through as the... as Kagatora Nagao. I'm probably not pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, I'm wondering if there are scenarios where you can play and actually... Because Nobunaga besieged, they recommend you playing as the Uesugi. After being at odds with them for many years, Teratora Uesugi forms an alliance with the Hojo clan. With no more worry about attacks sneaking up from the rear, he now sets sights on the capital. But to move forward, he must conquer Noto first. Huh. Siege at Osaka. No, I would think the interesting one would be to start really early. We could play as the Oda too. I've already spent way more time on this than I thought, but I'm probably going to play as the Uesugi. And what I've been doing in these last many campaigns is just having all of the created officers, instead of spreading them around different places, we put them together into one place. And I thought, oh, you can play as the... This might be an interesting change of place, playing as the Saito, working for Dosan Saito. Pulling the strings of the Doki clan, Toshimasa Saito could be considered the de facto leader of Mino. Suffering repeated attacks by the Oda clan, Toshimasa launches a counterattack.
Shouldering both name and clan, I will advance.
I will advance.
Shouldering both name and clan,
Yeah, I think that's Dosan Saito. By the way, I think we're going to be the Uesugi, but I'm way off track. So, all the created officers are going to be on the same force, so if I change my mind about what group we're playing as, it won't make too much of a difference to you. So go ahead and throw in your thoughts on what you think would be a fun scenario. I'm thinking about playing as the Uesugi, but I haven't played as the Oda for a long time, like since the first time I did one of these Nobunaga games. And the Oda is kind of the star central clan. They could be a lot of fun to play as because there's going to be more historical events in this and like cinematics and story than we've seen in other games. And I think they've made it a little friendlier to actually see what the events are and how to unlock them. So we could play as the Oda, we could play as the Uesugi, as I've mentioned. We could play as some off-the-wall clan like the Saito, who are the neighbors of the Oda. Like, have them beat the Oda early. We could play as... What is going on? Oh. They don't like me not having selected the menu thing. There's all different things we could do, so throw in your thoughts on what you would like to see. Including up to and including creating our own force with, like, JG as the ruler or something like that. I'm not really that interested in doing that, but we could. But whatever we do, we're going to need created officers to get us through it. So all the created officers will start out on the same force. People may defect. They may switch sides and get captured and executed. All sorts of things can happen. So let's go through some of the officers I've created offline, or just one of them, so you guys can see what you would need to submit. And what you would do is, if you are one of the people who actually donated, I guess I should have led with this. Then you're going to want to write in the comments and give me all the information for your created character. I guess I'll put this in the description. So the first thing we're going to do is the 2023 donators are going to get a chance to be involved. And people who donated in 2024 will go in the next round. So the 2023 donation information was a little different, laid out a little differently. I think Zerfall had different options at his disposal. But he basically gave me a list of people who had donated $100 or more who are entitled to submit a character if they want to. So some of these are a mixture of YouTube names and possibly non-YouTube names, but these are the folks who get to donate or submit a character. So if you are not using this name, you have some other name, let me know who you are. And you're on the honor system. If, like, Darnell Taylor is somebody, if you are not Darnell Taylor and you pretend to be Darnell Taylor, then, you know, you're kind of a rat bastard. But I don't really have a way to check this other than that I know some of these people from years past. So the names we have are Kalan Lancaster, Darnell Taylor, Lawrencein, Richmond Dy, MysteriousJG, I don't know how he got in there, Bonneri, AuldDragon, Leva, it's L-E-V-A, Fatal Alex, Bob Jackson, Arthresh, Stephen Thomas SKS, I think that's Steve Kentucky Steve, I'm not certain. Shamen, Froxis, The Unknown, Young Straight, Anghammarand, not that hard, actually. Panzer Toll, not Toll Panzer. Toll Panzer, if you try to donate, I'm not going to permit it. Panzer Toll is up this year. And, of course, LethalFeline. I say, of course, though, actually, it doesn't look like he donated. Either he didn't donate in 2024, or in 2024, he picked a different incentive, and it's like he didn't want to be involved. And there are, of course, other people who, I mean, if Grimmeth submits a character, Zerfall is expected to submit a character. Zerfall, actually, you can submit characters for others as well. Like I would basically create, if prompted, Fall Uncle Baldo Zer, and I thought I actually created him on screen, and now I can't find him, so I think I didn't save or something, because you are not here, even though I remember having created that character, so you could pick a portrait before. But yeah, Zerfall could have like Fall Uncle Baldo Zer, and then yeah, I swear I remember sharing screens and doing this, and I don't know what the hell happened. It's gone. It didn't save, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that. But yeah, Zerfall would be entitled to also create a Jaxors and a Zerfina character. Similar to the way that Bobo and Bean, I don't remember whether they donated that year or not, but they're both in there. And I made a Vulture Papa character just so that, I'm not going to go to those lengths for anyone else, but I made a Vulture Papa so that Bobo and I would have the same father, and that would basically make us follow the rules of being in the same clan. And then there's a Vulture Bronco and a Vulture BB. So Vulture Bronco and Vulture BB, you can tell me how old you want your character to be at the beginning of the scenario. That's how we're going to do that. because I haven't 100% picked a scenario yet. All right, but tell me how old you want to be when it starts, and we'll make that happen. And then Vulture, Bronco, and BB are already set up so that they are. They will appear a certain length of time into the scenario, and Bronco will appear 3 years before BB because he's 3 years older than BB. So, like Zerfina, I could do a similar age staggering thing. But anyway. So here's JG Mystery. First thing we always have to do is select a face. Now, the historical portraits do have some portraits that don't have names. It's kind of interesting, but I'm pretty sure that this is because they've got different... Some characters have different faces depending on how old they are. It doesn't seem that obvious looking at those, but... There was like 3 different aged guys, all with eye patches, and one of them was named Masamune Date, and the other 2 were right next to Masamune Date, but didn't have names. So I just think that's what it is. And like the Chosakabe, there's more than one portrait here, because I think they've got people who are in helmets and people who are in Imperial Court clothes. So we're not going to use any historical portraits. We're going to go with male, female, and add. So for male, I'll just go through all of them. Here's what we're going to do. Zerf already picked a portrait, and then somehow his didn't save. So if you pick a bald character, I'm going to recommend that you pick at least... I think everyone gets 3 pictures. But if you pick a bald guy as your primary, maybe you want to pick 4 pictures in descending order of preference. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to go down the list and I'm going to make the characters. But if 2 different people want the same portrait, I'm going to give it to whoever gets it first. So pick a portrait, then pick an alternate, then pick a second alternate. Particularly if you pick a Baldo, because Zerf might just steal your one. So this is the... You're going to do row and then column. So here's row 1, column 1. Row 1, column 2. Row 1, column 3. Row 1, column 4, row 1, column 5, row 1, column 6. Somebody had that portrait in the prior Let's Play. I don't remember who it was. Now we'll go down to row 2. I'm not going to say it for every single one, but hey, this guy's got cool fuzzy clothes on. But we're in row 2, column 4, if it's not making sense to you. This guy seems to say. There's a man with a lovely earring. This guy's looking pretty swarthy and untrustworthy. There's a guy with a face tat. There's a chunky funster. There's a Bishonen. And there's, like, I think we've seen this portrait associated with weird, like, added characters in the past. But, yeah, that's supposed to be a male character. Pretty cool warrior man here. There's a guy with a super cool haircut. There's a little kid, I guess, dressed as some kind of samurai. That guy looks sweet. Ah, that is a cool looking portrait. I like that guy. And we'll just keep on going with more kind of warrior men. Not sure what row I'm on now. I think I'm on row 3. Yep. No, 4. 5. Wow. Okay. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're on row 6. Another one of these little kid samurai. It's kind of being a thing. Row 7. Some of these are very familiar from prior playthroughs. I want to say somebody had that portrait before. Or maybe some of these portraits appeared as like just random officials and stuff, you know? Kind of lost track again. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is row 9. I don't know how often we'll get to see the big portrait either. Guy's got a neat look going on. I guess this is 10. Have I already lost track again? I've got a guy drinking and enjoying some tea. That guy's got that sweet stash. Check him out. The ladies look at him and go, This guy's stirring something. Guy's like, hey, let me touch you. This might be the Zerfall portrait he selected. He's taking a look at some dirty drawings and going, yeah. And this is a classic Uncle Baldo from a prior Let's Play. Another guy with a sweet stash. Got a lot of pretty sweet stashes in this game, I gotta say. Ladies love Nobunaga's ambition. Alright, we're gonna have to find out what Caucasian clown man, what row this is on, because I keep losing track. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Row 12 is Caucasian clown puff guy. He's not clown puff. There is something very clownish about his collar. Hey. This is a man who is dressed as a woman in no theater, I think. That's a pretty sweet portrait right there. Look a little goofy. The unlucky row 13 now. So unlucky, I hit the same portrait twice. So again, when you're submitting your character, you're going to want to pick... Oh man, that is a sweet portrait. He looks like a badass. Like Han Solo of Japan. So 12, 13, 14 here. We've got a couple of ninjas, including Vulture Bronco, who is a big fan of ninjutsu. Colin Sanada, as he was known in prior game. Here's a Buckethead Baloo. 12, 13, 14. Here's row 15. And remember, you're going to want to pick portrait as your primary. This one is Vulture BB. Pick a preferred portrait and at least 1 or 2 alternates. It can be Japanese Robin Hood or MysteriousJG. I really loved a portrait he had in a prior game that is not available, so I gave him this with the bozo hair. And we've got a cool Imperial Retainer hat guy. This was LethalFeline's portrait in prior adventures. If he can't be bothered to make a character, I'll probably just make a generic warrior build and have that be Lethal. But if Lethal wants to actually express some interest, that would be nice. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's got a cool Baker hat there. That is some kind of... I don't know what the hell that is. Native warrior? Like, I would guess that was like a tribesman if it was RTK. Master Miller had this portrait in a prior adventure. I want to say this is row 18, but don't quote me on it. That's a cool portrait. There's somebody with big hair energy. This would be even more annoying. I didn't realize quite how many portraits there were to go through. This would be even more annoying when we're doing the female portraits, because there probably won't be as many submissions. But hey, I mean, you got that little scrubber thing at the bottom of the screen, right? You can skip ahead to when I'm done looking at portraits. Okay. That's a pretty cool old dude. Just when you thought it was all old dudes, young dudes appear. I hope you're keeping track for yourself of the rows, because I'm not doing a good job of reminding. I know that row 12 was like Western explorer with ruffled collar. So right underneath action old dude. Hold on, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 is action old dude. So here's row 23. More of these out. Yeah, the Japanese do love their mustaches, don't they? At least they did in this time period. They have a lot of terrible beards. But they do grow some good mustaches over there. Although that guy, he's the king. Look at that. Raleigh Fingers is a samurai lord right there. This guy's bitter because he can't grow a mustache. It's a cool portrait. That would be a good Bobo portrait if he didn't already have a portrait in the row below. Oh, there you go. That Zerfal's like a... It's like a roughneck Yakuza thug. There's Bobo in his traditional Bobo attire. Here's Shihaudun of Japan. Here's Zhuge Liang cosplay. We're getting near the end here. Did I say row 21 was action, old man? I said row 21 was action, old man. I didn't bother to count down. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 has fresh face samurai, demon mask guy, just some other guys that I don't have anything particular insightful to say about. This guy looks like kind of a mafia thug too. And then this dude. I think I'm just not capable of, like, I think my I don't know if I drank it away, my short-term memory is just shot. We got former Master Reaper portrait there in the corner. I remember that he was 12 was this guy. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Bobo is 25. That might be a good point. 27, 28. I don't even remember if I did this row now. I think I did. And then the Master Reaper portrait is in row 29. So if Grimmeth is in the game, he'll probably get this portrait over here. Unless he actually watches this video and submits a character and picks another one. Row 30. Just have a bunch of guys in like cool battle helmets here. That's the theme of this row. Including a Sanada looking guy. Except he's got the wrong logo. 31. I guess he could be get the guys with the head wraps. I never really understood what that was about. There's a couple of guys on the Uesugi faction who would do that. I think it was like something to do with Bishamontan. Hey, be barbarian, dude. And then there's the Bloody Handed was the name of a character from a prior Nobunaga's Ambition Let's Play who almost every video of this series, all the way to the end, really, really appreciated it. Really made it a lot of fun. He wrote in-character stories about what the Bloody Handed was up to, even if at the end he decided that he launched a failed rebellion against the force he'd been working for the whole time. So it's like his final final contribution to the story was to declare that after we won, he decided to ride out and die. Can't be bothered to count. Like, this is okay. You're like, now you're like, you want to count up from the bottom instead of the top? Be my guest. It's fine. There's another of these guys. He just looks like some kind of like Yakuza thug. Oh, nice hat. Got another ninja. It's another tequila ninja. The Bloody Handed's, you know, gaudy brother with fancier mask. You got the elderly love child of Masamune Date and Tadakatsu Honda with the deer antler helmet and the eye patch. That's a cool portrait. Just like talk about like he looks like if you were going to have the villain of Wolong be in the game. Not that that's set in Japan because it's not, but if you wanted like crazy evil, like, you know, evil priest with dark magic, there's the guy. And this guy looks to me, oh my god, I can't remember the name of the. I'm remembering the fictional character Ziggy Stardust, but I can't remember the legendary musician. But he looks like Ziggy Stardust if he went Kabuki. So, oh, we're still not done, guys. We got the female portraits. I don't think there's as many. So we'll try to go through them quickly. So first row, again, so you're going to want to pick male or female. And I'll just zip through these pretty fast. Female portraits are kind of generic. There's a lot of, like, are they wearing a hat or not going on? I like this one. I think that ended up being Zerfina in a prior adventure. But shockingly, they all kind of have dark hair and Asian features. It's not, you know, there's not a huge amount of visual variety here. They all just kind of look like reasonably attractive Asian women. But some of them are supposed to be looking more like warriors than others. Some of them meant to be look more like courtesans than others. I like that portrait. I'm not sure why. That one seems new. I think we've seen this one in other games. And we'll see a lot of... That one's an interesting one. We'll see a lot of these... Here's a Kunoichi. If the game does the thing that the Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence did, where, like, random princesses would be born, and I think they were based on real history. But yeah, they didn't have distinct portraits for every female character. So there's almost like these procedurally generated women. And they always had like middling above average stats, and they're usually better at pole than war. But if you set it so that women could be officers, then they would use a lot of these portraits. I like this one too. She just kind of looks like she's up to something. And then I know that I definitely recognized that portrait, this one. Like, she was a Karihato or something. Like, she was a big player in a prior Nobunaga's Ambition adventure. So, I know I'm not reminding you about the rows, but you can go back and... Oh, I guess I'll do it real quick. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get to row 11, we have the Vulture Bean portrait. Bobo, if you or Bean actually watch this video and you guys want different portraits from the ones I've given you, then obviously feel free to name them. But that was a Bean portrait. The last time you guys sat down and actually watched one of these and gave me any input, that was the Bean portrait. I like that one too. I think that got used in a prior adventure. And it is always fun to have female characters in the Let's Play just to create some variety, but I mean, I'm not going to be doing stuff like marriages and stuff. So really just, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, you know, we'll alternate between... Oh, and I remember this portrait because this was someone who in Nobunaga's Ambition Type C, they were writing in-character stuff, and then they just dropped, like, about 10 videos in, and they were doing this cute character, because I had an island that I was referring to as a horse factory. Like, we were just raising horses down there, so I was saying that it was like a horse factory, and she was stationed down there. And I remember enjoying those, and they just kind of dropped off. Whoever submitted for that character, I think, lost the thread of the series after a while. There's some neat portraits here, actually. I like that one. She looks like kind of dangerous. And it's only fair that we have at least one female character who looks kind of male, because we certainly had 1 or 2 male characters who looked female. And there you go. And now add. Don't use these first. These, I mean, I'll show them to you, but these are kind of like fantasy versions of... Well, this first row is off limits. This is Nobunaga, this is Shingen, this is Kenshin, this is Masamune, this is Yukimura, and that's Lady No, who all appear in the game with more normal portraits. This is kind of based on their Samurai Warriors renditions, I guess. But you can be this guy if you want. So if you want to be anyone on the second row of ad, you can be them if you want. So that guy, if you want to be this guy, you can. Digital dude. Digi-dude. And, yeah, you can be those guys. There was a couple of interesting portraits in here, too, I remember seeing along the way, that I just want to show off in case they don't appear in the game, now that we've already spent 800,000 hours on this. Yeah, I don't know why we have Nene and Nay. You can watch them whip, you can watch them Nene. I'm not sure which one, like, I think she's supposed to be older, probably, but I think they're supposed to be the same character. I don't know why the names are done like that. And then there was one particular portrait I'm trying to find here that I think I'm on the right page. Oh, maybe I'm not. I kind of vaguely remember they're in the middle row, so that's where I'm looking. This is the poor guy who had leprosy. And there's Otusia Lady. So we do have a couple of portraits that are just assigned to character types and not an actual specific character. And now I cannot find him. There's Dosan Saito. I guess his name changes later. I'm spending much more time on this than I meant to, but that always happens. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm trying to find this portrait that I remember being interested when I noticed it, because I don't think this character had been in some of the prior playthroughs. Here it is, Anjin Muira. So if you've been watching, or if you have watched the HBO, the Hulu series Shogun, that's the Anjin-san. I guess in Kowai Land, he's Irish because he's the hero of Neo. And in the novel that Shogun is based on, he's called Blackthorn. But the actual historical figure is not called Blackthorn. I don't remember the actual historical figure's name. But he's like an Englishman who he's known as Anjin to the Japanese. That's him. So they got him as like a blonde dude wearing like kind of Western style clothes. I mean, that's pretty cool. If you are a... I'm pretty sure she was right over here. It's kind of tough to search through these because they're not in alphabetical order. Like, I don't understand the sequence in which they are, but there's what's the hell's her name? Mariko. That's Gracia, who is portrayed as this ridiculous redheaded girl with pigtails in Samurai Warriors world. But that's Gracia, the daughter of Mitsuhide Akechi, the kind of the hero of Shogun, really. But that's her. So whoop-de-doo. All right. Whew. 40 minutes in. Let's actually talk about what your characters are other than portraits. So you'll need a full name, a first name, and a last name. Full name can contain up to 28 characters, and I definitely ran into some weirdness with Zerfall trying to name his character. So be prepared for your character's name not to come out exactly as you want it to, in case of weirdness. But basically, I'm JG Mystery because that's like a tradition that comes from an older Nobunaga game where I tried to make myself MysteriousJG. and it did family name first or whatever. But you do get to pick how you want it to appear, a first and a second. You can be male or female. My pronouns are patriot and gun. I'm just kidding. They are not either of those things. You can have personality. Appear with selected personality. I think all this really means is your voice. So...
Acknowledged.
I understand. I understand. I understand. I understand.
Okay, I don't understand the difference between rough and gallant, but they understand.
Very good.
Acknowledged.
I understand.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yeah, I don't understand how
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
they have all these ones that sound exactly the same, but you get to just pick.
Very good.
Certainly. 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 Certainly.
Well, there you go. So pick, and it doesn't appear to affect anything. Where you can be a normal male, a rough male, a gallant male, a stern male, a cool male, a brave male, a schemer male, an elegant male, an elder male, a normal female, a gallant female, or a kind female. Men are not allowed to be kind. Women can be normal and gallant. Men can be normal and gallant, but they can also be rough, stern, cool, brave, schemers, elegant, and elderly, none of which females can be. Females, however, can be kind, which males cannot. So, now that we know that. AI level. The closer to 5, the stronger the AI becomes. Oh, closer to S, excuse me. I don't really know what that means, other than it may have more of an impact when a player is not part of the force we control. I guess I'll set myself to A. I don't even think I noticed that. I'm not sure that that was a slider when I designed this character. It may have defaulted to B. And then Rebellious. The higher the value, the more likely a betrayal will occur. We've played prior games. This was like a level at which you had to maintain at least this much loyalty. Their loyalty went up and down. Like their happiness with the Force. There were certain things you could do. If they were with the Force for a long time, they would have a bonus. If they were the Lord of a castle, they would have a bonus. If you took treasure away from them, there would be a negative. But 20 is basically... 20 is somebody who's just really, really going out of their way to look for any excuse to betray the Force. And 0 means they would basically never betray for any reason. I set MysteriousJG at 4, but you can roleplay a little here. Decide on a scale of 0 through 20, how likely are you to rebel? Bearing in mind that the higher that number is, the more of a pain in your ass, you'll be as a character. But you might get more screen time as I try to figure out ways to not get you to rebel. Then again, if you do rebel, you also might end up getting captured and executed. You can be conservative, neutral, or progressive. This has had various effects across various Nobunaga's Ambitions games. I'm making JG progressive. Bear in mind, this doesn't mean exactly what you might think it means. It has nothing to do with, like, I was joking before, my pronouns are freedom and guns. Like, a conservative in feudal Japan would be somebody who was against allowing Christian ideas to come into the country. And they're probably not that happy about gunpowder. And they're really not happy about things like the peasants gaining rights. They want the old established samurai families to rule the land. Someone who's neutral doesn't care. And somebody who's progressive, well, sometimes they're doing it for their own purposes, but they do want Western technologies and ideas coming into the country, even if they're using them for their own ends to support their own power. So, like, Nobunaga was an atheist, but he would be considered progressive in this world. Some of the more, like, fully Christian daimyos who, like, were seriously Christian and not just doing it for the appearance of it, they would also be considered progressive in this world. A conservative would be somebody who was, like, a close follower of Buddhism or Shintoism, like, say, Kenshin Uesugi, the leader of the clan that we're going to be playing as, I think. Now, here is a tricky one. And again, when you submit your character, you just want to fill all these out. You're going to want to pick a face with a row and a column. Give me a name, first and last. It has to be, you can't be more than 28 characters. Give me a gender, give me a personality, AI level, CBAS. I don't know exactly what it means. The rebellion score. Progressive. Now the station. So you can be a chief, an infantry leader, a samurai leader, a captain, a senior retainer, or senior officer. I think I had JG down as senior retainer. This one is a little bit confused. I didn't get far enough in the game to do that much with it. But I grabbed what information I could off of the online manual. And I think I'm in the wrong place in the online manual. Because I was trying to get information on something else. So let's go back to where I want to be. Okay. A chief can be appointed as a substitute. It is the lowest of the ranks. An infantry leader can be appointed as a substitute or landholder. A samurai leader can be appointed as a substitute, landholder, or lord. I don't remember exactly what substitute means. But landholder means you get to, like, you can be kind of used to help with the, domestic development of a piece of land, but you're not going to be lord of an entire region. Like in this game, like every city that like little province or city like spot will be subdivided up even further. So anyway, infantry leader, samurai leader can be a lord. A captain can be appointed as a substitute, landlord, landholder, or lord. Can be assigned to issue policies or mediate. Can be appointed as an overseer. Lord's dominion, the number of counties assignable to a lord, increases slightly. Senior retainer can be appointed as a substitute, landlord, holder, lord, or regent. Can be assigned to issue policies or mediate. Can be appointed as an overseer or a conservator. Lord's dominion increases moderately. And then a senior officer can do all of that. Lord's dominion increases greatly. So basically it's just a sliding scale of what they're allowed to do. And the problem with this system is that once an officer has gained a certain amount of honor, because honor is a thing that is tracked, their station will rise automatically during the honor commendation that occurs once every 3 months. So it's kind of like the fame system in some of the prior games. Like the some of the RTK games had fame. As an in-game character does things, their kind of rank will rise. And it really is a sliding scale. Chief is the lowest, senior officer is the best. The problem is, honor is acquired in proportion to the number of activities performed. As an officer's station rises, they will become capable of governing counties and castles. But there is something I'm not seeing now. Oh, loyalty. Here we go. I can't find it now, but okay. If an officer is assigned to an employment beneath their station, for example, appointing a senior retainer as a substitute. Substitute, I don't understand exactly what substitute is. I'm sure it's explained somewhere in the manual. But yeah, like if you put somebody who's like the highest ranking dude ever, it's like the super master of all strategy and awesomeness, and you make them like the prefect of backwater, it will have a negative impact on loyalty. That's what it basically is. So basically you're selecting chief, infantry leader, samurai leader, captain, senior retainer, senior officer. It's a sliding scale of how high do you want your character's rank to be. That's what it is. Origin and talent. I don't know what this does. I really don't know what this does. Can I find anything about what this does? Because what I'm looking at is there isn't really a guide to the created officer part of it. It's just that information from the manual is necessary for you to actually station officers to do certain things. And again, I haven't had much chance to play it, so just consider this a role-playing experiment. Do you want to be a samurai, an aristocrat, a priest, a merchant, a pirate, a ninja, a blade master, a commoner, a strategist, or an official? That might have to do with what skills are available to you. I'm really not sure. And for religion, I don't know what this would do in game other than affect your affinity with other officers. But you can have none. You can be a Buddhist. You can be Iko-shu, which I think is some kind of Shinto thing. Or you can be a Christian. For abilities, you have 320 points to spend. The same as... This is what we're doing in the games that have 4 skills instead of 5. Leadership affects damage taken by units and county seizure speed. So leadership is basically your defense as a unit leader. And county seizure speed, I don't know exactly what that is, but it has to do with when you invade a territory, or when you first gain power over territory, but you haven't like settled it yet. Valor affects damage inflicted on enemy units and when storming enemy castles. So Valor is basically leader is defense with some extra stuff for domestics. Valor is offense. Intelligence affects covert efficiency and damage inflicted during blockades. And Pol affects the efficiency and effects of various civil affairs. So for JG, who I've always been building as a political officer, he has maxed out his Pol and his intellect and split his remaining points evenly in the military stuff. Now, tactics. I went with against all odds. But you can pick various tactics. And I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of... There's a lot of these. We'll just zip through them pretty quickly. There's an ability. I think it tells you whether it's a Valor, Intelligence, whatever. It doesn't look like... Yeah, it looks like they're all either Valor or Intelligence. So you've got Rapid Assault, and you can read what they do. Concerted Attack, Healer, Cheer, Coercion, Speedy, Interfere, Caution, Cheer, Confuse, Potential, Perturb, One-Eyed Master, which has 2 effects. You can see it's one of the high-end skills, I guess. God of War. Some of these are unique skills to in-game major characters, but you can go ahead and have them. Why not? Awakening. Against all odds. Funen Kazan. Crack Troops. Now is the time. Total Unity. Ghost Coins. Surfall's traditional skill. Demon Hanzo. I can't imagine what character has that skill. Rakamaru. Little Demon. Lion of Sagami. 10-pronged assault, ambush, fixed fire, vanguard warrior, steadfast Shibata, sword of the samurai, arrow of wisdom, arrow of strength, Tokaido's best, viper of Mino, luring tactic, Hiragumo, tiger of Ushi. Man, I gotta get this. My eyes are just gone to shit. Cunning fox, like water, communion of minds, tiger of Joshu. Keen Spear Arts, Red Demon of Vli, Red Cavalry Rider, Bungo's God of War. That's a good name. I like that name. The Bungo God. Indomitable, Righteous Command, Calculating Genius, Unbroken Will, Spear of the Dawn, Kuroda Warrior, Peerless Spear, Heroic Resolve, Zealous Valor, Something Japanesey, and Heaven's Favor. Feel free to pick a normal one. These fancy ones down here are probably associated with individual hero characters from the game. You can pick those too, but don't feel like you're obligated to. You can pick a more of a normal one-eyed monster or one-eyed master. I like the old one-eyed monster. We take the old one-eyed Jack to the optometrist. But I went with against all odds, even though I don't expect to be in combat very often. You can have one overseer trait. So I'll zip through these two. What did I actually choose? Code of the official. So target policy. There we go. I think you need to actually increases the castle. These ones are it's kind of a lot of work to see what these are about. So you got the way of different clans. I'll just kind of hang out on the screen and let you see what they do. So you can pause if you really want to think about this. You can pause and read them yourself. Temple crops up, for example, the way of Honganji, but they also have a temple revolt deterrent bonus. Way of the Hojo has 3 different things, including maintain seizure of farm villages and fairs. Way of the Kato, way of the Otomo. I don't know how often these come up, what you need to be an overseer, but I'm pausing, so, I mean, you can pause and read any of these that you want. I think there's no reason not to have at least showing effect. Way of the Saito. Way of the Takada. Laws of Kai. Cavalry levels up. All castles cavalry level up. Fence up. And now we get down to the ones that are not clan specific. Now we are going to be Uesugi, so Bishamontan Faith. Bishamontan's Faith and decrease its upkeep. These might not matter. These might be only the leader of the faction. Does this do anything? So don't worry about this one too much. I don't know for a fact, but this one might only matter if you were the leader of a faction. Maritime Advice. So Code of the Samurai was the next one up. Code of the Blade Master, Code of the Official. Enables the issuance of civil leadership. It decreases its upkeep. This is, I mean, I chose this one because I'm a civil official. Retainer able to suggest provision requisition. Increases crops of all counties. 100% development rate. Commerce up for 100% development rate castles. Whatever. I don't know that these matter. Code of the Ninja would be a fun one. Code of the Pirate. Naval transport. That's what pirates are all about. Waterborne resupply. Decrease resupply bases. Castle, whatever. So we'll go through this one real quick. Silver goods overseer, mine overseer. I don't know how much these matter. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if these will matter at all. But I went with the Code of the Official. Conservative trait. And this is more likely to actually do something if you're running a town. So I had Meritocracy Special. So we've got ones like Bolster Troops. Normal, Good, and Special. Mobilize farmers to bolster troops. Contributing to militarization. Why is one normal, one good, and one special? I don't know. Oh, because this increases max soldiers by different amounts, but decreases harvest. Okay. So that's good to know. So you can have like a minor increase to troops and a minor decrease to harvest, or you could have it really blow up huge. I think that's what all these are like. So this is purchase provisions to stockpile for war. Yeah, all of these are trade-off ones. So you can do provision purchase, increases days of provisions, but decreases gold income. You can do industrialist tenant, which increases commerce and decreases crops. You do agriculture tenant, increase crops, but decrease commerce. You do rapid supply, increase unit abilities, but decrease days of provisions. Increase max soldiers, but decrease gold income. Muskets build up. Strengthens musket damage when in possession of muskets. Weakens musket damage when there is no musket trait. When in possession of musket traits. Interesting. I don't know exactly what that means. And this one, 100% increase, but 95% decrease. So you really need to have muskets. Improved cavalry, which makes your cavalry better when in position of cavalry traits. Weakens it if you don't have cavalry traits. Improved dragoons. Strengthens cavalry and musket damage when you have dragoons. Decreases it when you don't have dragoons. Storming strategy. Increased damage when storming a castle. Decreases HP damage taken when being blockaded. Blockade strategy. Increase HP damage when blockading. Alright, that's an interesting one, because you can be good at... Blockading and storming are two different things. You can kind of pick which one you want to be good at. Storming is basically just like mad charge, trying to overrun the castle with force, and blockade is you're trying to blockade. Strength of years. Increase loyalty of officers who served 3 years or more. Decrease loyalty of officers who served less than 3 years. That's an interesting one. Meritocracy. This is the one I chose for JG. Increase loyalty of officers whose total ability score is 200 or more. Decrease loyalty of officers whose total ability score is below. So it's like these shitty officers don't like you. Good officers do have higher loyalty. So that's one where it's like seems obvious that the disadvantage is not as good as the, or it's not as big a deal as the advantage. Sink or swim. Increase acquired experience by 300%, but decreases loyalty of officers whose total ability score is below 200. So yeah, this like make this again, you're decreasing loyalty of shitty officers, but you're increasing their actual experience. I remember taking a long time going through these, trying to pick even for JG. So you have domestic priority, increases county settlement seizure speed, but decreases max soldiers. Saboteur increases success rate of covert actions, but decreases max soldiers. That one seems terrible. Covert actions almost never seem to work in these games. It's almost always better to just have better force of arms than trying to use, like, sneaky shit. It's cool for stories, but it never works. Cavalry drill. You can increase cavalry level, but decrease musket level. That seems like a... Other than the fact that it stacks poorly, like, increase cavalry level by 3, decrease musket by 5. Like, you'd do the same thing with musket. Like, you'd have to... If you really want your character to be, like, all about cavalry or all about muskets, these would be good things to have. Cavalry supplier increases cavalry level but decreases gold income. Musket supplier, same thing for muskets. Farmland promoter, increase harvest amount but decreases disaster damage prevention rate. You can increase harvest amount but decrease max soldiers. You can increase max HP of castles but decrease gold income. You can increase disaster damage prevention rate. Or increase the... It seems like you can always pick and like have opposite stuff. Like you can have really good disaster damage prevention, but just not have as much crops. Mercantile infrastructure, increase damage prevention rate, but decrease fair commerce. Generous compensation, increase loyalty, but increase consumed labor. I guess that just means you're paying people for the work they do. That's not very American. Here's an interesting one. Either the numbers are wrong or this isn't making sense. You can have a increased loyalty effect 1, increased labor consumption by 1. This one increases loyalty by 2 and increases labor by 2. This one increases loyalty by 3 but increases labor by 2. So why would you ever choose this one and not that one? Probably because special is a misprint. It's also 3. So you can have personnel cultivator. You can increase loyalty but decrease harvest. You can do overwork people, increases max labor but decreases loyalty. Focus increases success rate of covert actions but increases the execution term of covert actions. Makes it take twice as long and has a 20% more likely to succeed. That doesn't seem like a good trade either. Free market, increase gold income but decrease max soldiers. Long game, increases success rate of covert actions but decrease gold income. You can increase days of provision, but decrease unit abilities. Slow and steady, that's a good name for it. Provision stockpiler. Increase days of provisions, but decreases harvest amount. I don't like any of these, hardly any of these. Like, increase disaster damage prevention rate, but decrease county settlement seizure speed. That's probably not terrible. I don't know how important county settlement seizure speed is. Like, once you've taken over the county, I don't think it matters anymore. This one might make it difficult to get started, but once you've got it, you got it. Compulsory labor, you can increase max labor, but decrease max soldiers. Military tenant, increase county settlement seizure speed, decrease loyalty. Increase max HP of castles, decrease provisions. You have elite muskets, increase musket level, but decrease max soldiers. That one might not be that bad, actually, if you can have muskets for everybody. Increase harvest, but decrease loyalty. Tax hike, death or glory. Increase unit abilities, decrease loyalty. Tireless training, increase unit abilities, decrease gold. I mean, as long as everyone doesn't have the same tenant, these are affecting like individual things. You can increase max soldiers but decrease unit abilities. You can increase max soldiers but decrease county settlement seizure speed. Etc., etc. Increase cavalry but decrease max soldiers. Increase county settlement speed. Decrease unit abilities. Maybe just pick one whose name you like. Adept Governor. It's decreasing unit abilities, so that doesn't make you sound like an adept bugger. You can be the People's Champion. Increase unit abilities, decrease county seizure speed. This one doesn't sound like it's that bad, really. Because again, this county settlement seizure speed, I don't know how big of a problem that is. I don't know how long it takes for you to settle a newly conquered territory, but if it's a slow build game, you should be fine having it take a little longer, but like have a permanent long-term increase to some of these abilities. Increase gold income, decrease county settlement speed. Increase gold income, decrease harvest amount. Culinary diplomacy. Increase effect, increase officer employment. Search success rate, decrease gold income. I think a 5% decrease to gold income, 15% increase of your ability to search and find officers, and it's because of culinary diplomacy. It's because you're spending 5% of the city's budget on just delicious food. I think that was a good trade. We're getting close, folks. Select traits. So I've got 3 right now. Alright. Looks like you probably... Can I pick a trait that is normally a Kicho trait? I guess so. Alright, so we'll just zip through these as fast as we can. So, I went with Reputation. Increases loyalty of retainer officers when acting as lord. Civil Construction. Increase Castletown facility action efficiency. Refined Taste. Occasionally procures treasures. Like, I don't know how useful those are. Utmost Devotion, you can increase settlement seizure speed. You have to be above a lord to have a reputation. This excludes attendance. So again, pause and read about anything that interests you. You can be into... So I don't think I could be bothered to read all of these. You can be a networker. You can be eloquent. You can go for all or nothing in self-defense. You can be impregnable. You can be castle raider. On the offensive. Immovable. Hot-blooded. Go ahead and check it and see. You can counterattack. Tactics, management, plot. Sea god. You can be a sea god, folks. Bowman. Land advantage, disaster readiness and repair. Statesman. Hardline. Get some hard towns on Dusty Roads. You can be a flatterer. You can be an equestrian. You can be into gunnery, a dragoon. You can be devious. You can be eagle-eyed, first-blooded, military paragon, red cavalry, expert fortifier, a marksman, a cavalry commander, the last defense, the demon king. Now we're into... So we had limited, common. So these are Nobunaga skills, though apparently you get to use them. Dynast, Human Castle, Tiger of Kai, Righteous General, Dragon of Echigo, Swindler, Recognition, Mikawa Warrior, a Sly Fox, Scheme Master, Thicker Than Water, 100 Poems, shortened term of policy submissions and Castle Town facilities, enable all submissions. His 100 poems were all about how he murdered Nobunaga. Give me a Civil Defender, Color of Environment, Unbroken Pride, Essence of the Date, Best in Japan, Country Interests, Hero of Four Lands, Shimazu Demon, Avatar of Lightning, Heavy Crush, Phoenix, Cunning, Lightning Flash, Mino Ogre, Female Warriors, Peerless Ploy, Way of the Ninja, Western Titan, Retreat Tactics, Sakon the Ogre, Wave of Despair, Namazao Helmet, Indomitable Spirit, Like a Boar, Sogo the Ogre, Decapitator, a Faithful Adjunct, a rearguard master, a nimble retreater, a worldly knowledger. You can be Mino's Night Demon. You can be Kiyoshi's Recorder. You can be battle-hardened Stud. You can be a Viceroy's Authority or have a Viceroy's Authority. You can be a Clever Diplomat. Decreases attack of requested reinforcements. That's not a bad one, I guess. Although that character is not one of the most impressive characters. You can be... Oh, Oichi has Bag of Atsuki Beans. Nullifies own units and castles. Ability reduction caused by PANZER attacks and Robloxer, okay? You can be the Jewel of the Land. You can be Still Kickin'. You can be Eccentric. Increases own units' abilities while no directions have been given during battle. You can allow stamina recovery if you are still kicking. You can allow stamina recovery while your own unit's moving during battle. Art of War, Rising Dragon, Well-Eyed Plans, Grand Magistrate, Enlightened Blade, Makabe the Ogre, Master Accountant, decreases policy upkeep costs. I don't think I noticed that one. I should be using that one. Invincible, Fearsome Momentum, Young Innovator, a Warding Banner, a Bishamonten, a Fear Not Death, Oshu King. Master Account, you have to be the Daimyo. That's probably why I didn't use it. Oathkeeper, Astonishing. Yeah, if I get rid of Reputation for a minute, can I do... Yeah, I could pick it, but it wouldn't ever take place. Okay. So bear that in mind, folks. You're going to want to pick 3. I'm going to suggest for this one is another one where you pick some backups. List them in the order in which you'd like to have them, because some of them may be blocked out, and I'll pick something else for you. But if you pick 4 or 5, that would be best. But if it says condition, this would mean that there's it might be that it doesn't work for you, especially anything that says Daimyo. So just bear that in mind. Birth to death. Just tell me how old you want to be at the beginning of the scenario. And lifespan can be up to 110 years. I'm going to give everyone 110 years unless they say not. If you have some other number that you want instead. So tell me how old you want to be at the beginning of the scenario. Location, we're all going to be at the same place depending on what I select as what we're doing. And then for relatives, nobody's going to have relatives except for me and Bobo. I guess you can set... you know what, if I make... Zerfina Baldo, she can have Zerf as her father. But otherwise, deep affection, you can pick 3 officers that your affection will increase for over time. And you can select officers that you hate if you want. It will make your affinity deteriorate with those officers. I don't know what affinity actually does. It might mean that you're less successful when you're working in the same facility. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but if you want to play with that, you can. But there you go. You need to pick a portrait, you need to pick a name, a gender, a personality, an AI level, 1 through 20 rebelliousness, pick a tenant, pick a station, pick an origin and talent, and a religion. Set your abilities. You have 320 points to distribute across these 4. Tactics, overseer traits, conservative traits. If you skip any of these, I will probably just do something random. There is an auto make male and female, but I'm going to let you guys pick your own stuff. Tell me how old you want to be at the beginning of the scenario and how long you want to live. And go ahead and pick 3 officers, including people that you know are going to be in the LP, like myself or, you know, Zerfall. Historical figures, anybody. If told Panzer you really want to hate AuldDragon, if you really want to like Lawrencein, you can pick them too. But them's the rules, and this video came out to over an hour, as these often do. If you are not entering a character in this Let's Play and you're still watching, I don't know why. Please do not bother to complain in the video comments that this was too long. But go ahead and submit your characters. I will make all the characters, and then I will do a run-through video of all the characters as I've done in the past. I'm calling that whenever I post this thing, which I'm planning on doing, probably posting it tonight or tomorrow night. I'll tell you what. It's probably going up on the last day of September 2024. So I'm giving you guys 2 weeks. I might want to actually spend some of my weekend making them, though. Alright. I'm posting this probably on the on or near the final day of September. So you have until end of day on Sunday, October the 13th to submit your character. That's 2 weeks for you to notice this video is up, watch it, put together a character. After that, I'll start making the characters. But yeah, I won't do it before then. So that's going to be it for now. Sorry this video went a million years long. But when we come back next time, I will actually have gone through and made the characters. It's for 2023, it's Kalan Lancaster, Darnell Taylor, Lawrencein, Richmond Dy, MysteriousJG, Bonneri, AuldDragon, Leva, Fatal Alex, Bob Jackson, Arthresh, Stephen Thomas, SKS, Shamen, Froxis, The Unknown, Young Straight, Anghammarand, PANZER, and LethalFeline. There are other people who probably can guess who they are, who get to throw in. Basically, it's just Zerf and his family, and then my family, and I guess Grimmeth. I got my gaming circle, but other than Grimmeth, everyone in that circle has donated and would be ready to go. So yeah, feel free to jump in and enjoy. I haven't played this game all the way through to the end of a scenario yet, so I don't know how difficult this will be or how well it will go. But this is your chance to be part of it. So join me, won't you? Thank you.